Hey, all.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, all good, all good. Thank you. How are you?
Hi, Tanya.
I'm good.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Brent. Hi, Tonya.
It feel it feels so weird to be in a space and not hosting or co-hosting.
That's true.
Cause I'm used to being the one pushing all the buttons and doing the space.
Yeah, and directing the party. But this is good for you too. When you're a speaker, you learn to be a better host. So I don't know if Tonya is already there or is having trouble in the connection. We're about to start in about 1 minute, I guess, according to my clock here. Can you listen to me, Manuel?
You sound perfect. I'm gonna turn on my player and I'm gonna put some music on real quick so everybody can get comfortable. And this
Yes.
one is a quick demo from a friend of mine, but I'm just gonna go ahead and play this one. I'm gonna have to turn this on. Hopefully this sounds good without. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our weekly NFT for a cause. I'm here with my co host, Carlos. Hey, Carlos, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How you been? How was your week?
I am doing great. I'm just turning on my mixing board so we can get the music going, everything. So, yeah, today we have NFT project that we would like to feature and talk about, and especially what has happened to the country, Tonga, and with their that crazy earthquake. I mean, the volcano. I think mm, for some reason it only not too many people talk about it. It was just kind of when I saw the word tsunami, I just kind of like, oh my god. And I can imagine what the people are going through over there. But before we start, let me go ahead and say hi to everyone. And also, Carlos, how was your week? Everything great?
Yes, thank God. And prepared and very excited to help the people of Caritas, New Zealand, in this great cause that we have this week. Because the damage was great. Almost 80% of the total population of Tonga was affected, including in the capital Nuku'alofa. And it was there were treated at least treated people. I don't know the latest numbers, but it was a real tragedy. So we're happy to help again.
Definitely, thank you. And so I will give the mic to Mr. Wellington. He and I've been chatting, and I'm thrilled that we are able to do this project together, just to talk a bit more, and also be able to talk to the artist. Also, hi there, Mr. Wellington. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Do you want to give us a little short info about yourself and what made you get involved in this project?
Yeah. I've been in the NFT community for a while. So I kind of wanted to make a difference, I guess. So I just threw out a tweet. Brent actually responded to it here and said, yeah, he'd be on board. So we kind of tag team this project together.
It
So
it
yeah,
was
really, it's just
it was a I want this year I wanted to get into the NFT world by collaborating on a project, so it was the perfect time and the perfect time for a reach out.
Yes, this is the best time to learn about NFT. Also, is get involved in a project that's helping, is creating helping for a cause. So, Mr. Wellington, tell me a little bit more. So you've been involved in the NFT and projects, and you came across this project, and so we're gonna bring up Rachel from the Caritas from New Zealand. She's gonna share what's going on over there. But beforehand, let me give you a little bit about the format. It's going to be like a press release. So it's kind of like who we are, what we do, when we do it, why we do it, and how we do it. So, and the how part is really important. And that's where we'll save that for last. But the who part is I want to go ahead and have anyone that's an artist or that's part of this project go ahead and request a mic. Grab a mic. All you have to do is just introduce yourself, say hi, and say, just let us know how you got involved. Very quick and short because we only have 60 minutes. So I'll go ahead and I got Brent already, Mr. Wellington. And so on the mic, we have Dada. Hi, Dada. How are you?
hey, how's it going? I'm good, thank you. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I'm the co-founder of Neuralism with Mitch Anate, who's on the call as well. Want to say hi.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having us here, and also thank you for the great initiative. Very nice to meet you all, and very nice to see that so many of the artists that have helped in this very beautiful thing are here today.
Yeah, so we really decided to take on the initiative from Mr. Wellington, and we decided to launch a was something that we usually would call like a challenge within our community. Like this time, it was less of a challenge and more of like a platform for people to kind of express their art towards a good cause. And so we had a tremendous response from our community. We've been flooded with a number of great pieces of art, and the forum within our community also was very stimulated, and we engaged in a number of conversations about what happened, how to get involved, and how to help, and etc. So I think that has been a very great initiatives from our community. We are very proud of our artists and the people who participated, and ultimately it was also an occasion to kind of test the water a little bit in terms of AI art in the NFT space, and we were really really excited about the outputs of the challenge and the great pieces of work that our artists produced. There are a number of those that have been posted and then will be sort of minted and sold, and all the proceeds obviously it's going to go to charity. So there are a number of pieces that we have already sort of posted on our socials. So Neuralism AI, which is the one that is in the space as well, and we're gonna keep doing that and kind of show like the beauty of art. So yeah, thanks a lot again for the platform, and I think that this was a very great initiative, and so yeah, we're really proud of what our community has managed to pull together.
So I would also like to invite the artists who are will be part of this project to grab the mic also. I'm gonna go ahead and invite Francesco up here if he'd like to come up and just share one of the reason why he was part of wanted to join and part of this. And neuralism, I gave you the mic also. I would love to chat with you also. Like to speak, and I think we had a couple here who'd like to speak, and Delta. And then I'm just gonna send the another. If everybody can go ahead and retweet the space for me. I want to get Rachel up here from our. Let me get it. There we go. I sent the invite. Yeah, this is incredible because when you think about, I've looked in. I'm gonna be upfront, transparent. I'm really obsessed with AI, by the way, and I work with a lot of
That's awesome.
yeah, I work with regenerative medicine and longevity researchers. So I think Alexis, his is I think is deep learning. Is that their thing? Well, they work with life extension where they created a supplement made by an AI based on all the data that they got from the blood work. So it's interesting that how you guys are utilizing art, an AI for art. So can you tell us a little bit about that process?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to do that, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of the great artists in here. So like, I know Delta has been doing a lot of good work with ourselves, and also like their platform. Wellingtons and Robot and Proxima and then Francesca as well. I mean, guys, like literally you are the artist, right? Like we're enabling you guys and like the whole community and the whole movement to express yourself and like to appreciate your art. So like feel free to kind of get respond to the question yourself. I think it'd be awesome to hear it straight from yourselves.
And also, I love to chat with artists. Look, 'cause I've been researching NFT art, and I'm now into music, and I'm into filmmaking, and I'm looking at all this like in such a different light. And Web3 is such an incredible time we're all living into as far as going into Web3. So I've always asked artists more about what inspires them to get involved in a project, what inspires them to create something, because every artist has their own like when I look at a piece of art and if I understand the artist and what they how they create, I pretty much know what I'm collecting. And I think that's the most important part of storytelling is know the story behind the art that you're collecting and why you're collecting. And then that's where at the end we answer the word how, because how are we going to be able to collect to help? So that's why this is NFTs for a cause. So I want to go ahead and well, we'll just go ahead and move on. So Mr. Wellington, tell me a little bit about the project because I see the pieces are beautiful. I mean, they look they look like something you could get like 3D printed or something. I don't know. For it to be an NFT, but then it looks so beautiful as far as you can have it like made as a 3D render version of it.
Yeah, so actually the egg that I have is Soul Monster there. Um, and then we've got a matching like a sea turtle, because Tonga, the sea turtles around there are very common, and actually are dwindling, but that's another issue for another day. Um, but yeah, so this project, um, I have another project, Crypt Mall as well, and we've kind of collabed with Neuralism here to hold us all together. We're stronger as a team and stuff like that. But yeah, so basically, I didn't see Tonga, the volcano, much in the news. The only thing I heard was that they canceled a surf contest actually in California, and that was like the biggest, the noise that I heard about it, which is kind of sad, really. But um, there's a whole island out there with um, the whole island with every house on there destroyed. So it's really just nice to be able to get back to.
And they also say, that what happened to Tonga and what their the amount of damage. I mean, it's pretty much sea level deep into the earth. I was just looking at that. I'm like, if we don't really figure out why this is happening, or at least be aware of this, it could happen to any of us, really, if you think about it. Because,
Yeah.
I think climate change, I'm not here to talk about, not push the climate change agenda, but it is a thing. But also when you look at these type of um, natural
Nat-
disaster,
Natural disasters, actually.
yeah, natural disaster, it could happen to any of us, because I'm from South Florida. When we get a hurricane, we've had ones where it's so bad that it wipes out everything for us. But we're living in a country where we're so grateful for what we have. But could you imagine living in a country where you were just cut off from everything, like this? Like that's what happened to them, and then the tsunami aspect of it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Because even now they don't have internet and they don't have access because the underground ocean cables or whatever are either severed or just the electricity issues.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, I was just reading up on that. I saw that in the news section. Yeah, they're
Okay.
trying to figure out how they're gonna fix it.
Yeah, I was hoping,
Well,
is Rachel on here yet?
She's not here yet. I think. Let's see. No, she's not here yet. It's okay. We can continue talking about the art because it's interesting how the pieces are. I mean, so the art pieces you guys from all the different artists, it's based on around on Tonga, right? Or is it? Tell me a little bit about the
In-
collection.
Indeed, indeed. Essentially, we opened this. As I mentioned, we've taken on the initiative from Wellington and open it up to the whole community, right? And so we said, but there is this very sort of worthy cause, and we're opening it to you guys and to produce um, as many pieces as you want. And to then sort of post it whenever you like, right? So it's a kind of an ongoing event that we are running, aside a number of other activities within our community. And each of the participant just come hop on a Discord, goes into the channel and then just drop the piece of art, really. And then that kind of sparks the convo within the channel, right? So people reacting on certain techniques that they've used and certain sort of styles that they've decided to pick, and what was their inspo, etc. So yeah, I think it's really the artists that are shaping this, and that's the beauty of the community, isn't it? And we're so proud of them.
Dada, I wanted to know what is Comunque Dada, your name? That's the right pronunciation?
Yes, it's comunque dada. Yeah.
Comunque, okay.
Comunque,
Comunque,
yeah.
Comunque Dada. Okay, glad to meet you. It's an honor to have you here. And
Likewise.
I have a fast question for you. Every artist tries to be original. I mean, I'm myself like a cartoonist. I've been making some drawing, and you always want to. But every artist also has an influence. I mean, every artist in history, starting from the cavemen and Leonardo da Vinci, everybody has an influence. What's your major influence over your work? And then we will go with the raised hands by Rob Broad and
Yeah, for
Mushroom.
sure. That's an awesome question, and thanks for asking. And moreover, like, thanks for engaging with us. We're extremely blessed to be here in the team. But I gotta tell you that I myself, I'm not an artist. I am the co-founder of the movement. We have our so one of the other co-founder that we don't have here in the call right now, but like they are an artist rather. But so we are enabling also artists to express their work. So probably be best if we kind of pick some of the hands that are raised, and I'm sure that they will be able to can explain what their inspo is. Yeah, for my
That's okay. That's okay.
for my part, the name Dada comes from Dadaism. It's a short for
Dadaism.
Dadaism. Yeah. That's it.
The Dadaist movement was very important.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
starting the century, last century.
Yeah.
I did study it a lot in my high school. I remember Dadaism very well.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. That's great, ain't it? Yeah, let's go.
do you have any of the artists that here that
Yeah,
have a mic?
have the hands up.
Okay, the hand. Okay, let's go. Can we go with? I don't know how to pronounce. I mean, it's Ibrobot.
Hey, everybody, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfectly.
Okay. Hey, first off, I want to thank you guys for having me, to the host, Tanya and Carlos. Thanks for having the space, and then to the
You're
team
welcome.
at Neuralism for setting this project up. So I kind of fell down the AI rabbit hole a few months ago, and I haven't found the bottom yet. Talking about inspiration, Phil Bosua has a pretty big following on the NFT kind of art front. Huge into AI, inventor, incredibly smart. I saw one of his pieces and it kind of just started this. I feel like we're on like the cusp of a new kind of art revolution. I've always felt pretty artsy, but other things and priorities kind of take priority on that. And to call myself an artist, I think is a strong word. I feel like I'm maybe the composer of the orchestra, but I'm not the musician, if that makes sense. Kind of came here for the art. I'm here to create. And I'm looking forward to projects like this, just in a narrative or, in a space full of kind of greed and celebrities flexing their JPEGs. I think we need to write a different narrative for the NFT space. So super awesome that there's projects like this coming out, and really appreciate you guys for putting this stuff together. So I want to say thanks.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Totally welcome.
So Monster, I'd love to hear your thought.
Absolutely. Hi everyone. My name is Soul Monster, she, her, hers. And I'm a designer, artist. You can see my art on the profile picture of Mr. Wellington. And you can also see the profile picture of Brent. And that art was made by my collaborator. And he's definitely in the audience somewhere. And it would be great to have him come on stage as well. His name is Funky Dancing Onion. And we had this collaboration so that he creates pixel art in the form of a Tonga turtle, and I create 3D art in a form of a Tonga egg. And I can either talk more about the art or about some of the questions that were raised about, why I decided to join the project or like to join the initiative, or
Yes.
honestly anything. So I don't know if I should address the art first and then talk a little bit about my own intention for why I decided to join.
Let's talk about you first. Tell us about yourself. How long have you been creating, and how long have you been in the NFT arena? It's pretty much creating art.
So I joined a year ago. I joined NFTs a year ago, and I instantly it was I think it was late February, early March, where it was just kind of getting traction. But to be honest, I sold my pieces very soon after I joined. So I was like, all right, let me just keep doing it. Then I had to take a break. But it's still, overall, I think I have been just trying to utilize my creativity to communicate a certain message. And not only that, but I think to do good was really important to me and make sure that I raise funds, not just for myself to buy a new Lambo, to buy a new this and that, but to actually contribute to a cause that deserves it. So I definitely, like, from the very beginning, I understood there's a lot of money floating around, like stupid money, to be honest. And if we actually want to elevate the power of the community, because we do talk a lot about, oh, Web3 is a new community, I'm here for the community, even if Ethereum goes down to 0, I'm going to be here for the community. Like, there's a lot of talk, but I do want to see action as well. So want to make sure that with the funds that we raise, we do secure a seat at the table for people who are not able to be here right now. So for myself, I am also involved with a DAO called Change DAO. Not going to reveal a lot for now. There's going to be super exciting news very soon, and maybe the next week and a half. But there are 7 change makers who are launching their projects to also start contributing to causes that matter to them. So I'm trying to be involved there. There's also a really great community called Doing Good that I'm also a big part of. And I think this is where I heard about somebody brought up about having a project to help the Tonga relief, and I thought, oh, like that's great, that's interesting. And then I think somewhere else I saw Mr. Wellington and his message, so I was like, all right, like I'm hearing it, it's on my feed, people are talking about helping Tonga, so why not be involved in it? And this is how I got into creating the piece, which again I can talk a little more about, or we can move on to something else.
Salmonsta, I would like to, I had a misplaced question on Dada. I didn't know he was not an actual artist, but in your case you are. And you heard, I guess, what I said to him, that every artist tries to be original, but every artist, I was a cartoonist once, and I also had the influence of someone. You always receive an influence of a movement, artistical or a famous figure. In your case, personally, what's your main influence as an artist?
That's a great question, and I also want to say that it is still weird for me to call myself an artist. I do sort of say I create some art, but I also am more used to calling myself a designer, in a sense that I am my goal is to just elevate a message. And for example, for the past 2 years, I've been involved as a designer for human rights NGOs in Belarus, which is a country in Eastern Europe that is, a lot of people call it the last dictatorship of Europe. But so what I know is I have this art and I have this tool of creativity, and my intention is to use my creativity to send a message, whether it is to inspire someone, to give them hope, or to communicate information that is very difficult to digest. So I guess the influence is, being able to, I just want to be useful in some way. Like I know I have the power of creativity and the power of, using certain software, and I want to make sure that I'm bringing about change. Of course, I wanted to actually enjoy it, but I can easily combine that. And that's, I think, to me, the power of being an artist, or in my case, more of like the power of being a designer.
Perfect, wonderful answer. Thank you very much. And we have been already on the mic. I don't know if Caritas, the Caritas speaker, Caritas New Zealand, I guess it's pronounced Caritas Aotearoa. Caritas Aotearoa, New Zealand. If we can give the mic to them.
Yeah, she's and I think Rachel is one of the team member. Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Hi everybody. We've had some technical difficulties on this end, so just sorry for the delay, but great to be here. And yep, your pronunciation was pretty good. Caritas Aotearoa, New Zealand. So my name's Rachel, and I'm speaking from Caritas today.
I was practicing Caritas Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's difficult. Aotearoa is the most difficult one.
Well done.
Yes, I am also Catholic. I know Caritas is a worldwide organization. I am 60 years old, and we don't say Caritas as I guess. I'm guessing it's pronounced in English, and I'm too used to say Caritas, we say here in Spanish, and I guess that's the original Latin pronunciation too. So I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic student, and Caritas have been doing a incredible worldwide work of decades, okay, in the name of the poor and the needed, of the people suffering from tragedies like this. So I want to congratulate you for devoting part of your life to work with this great organization.
Thank you so much, and it's great to have someone who knows so much about Caritas's work right across the world. So thank you for having me, and thank you for this platform. And it's absolutely great to hear all the artists speaking about their work and their contribution.
Yeah, they were working hard all over my country. I am in Caracas, Venezuela. I'm from Caracas, and all over South America. And we have been receiving the benefit influence of Caritas, all of Caritas all the time. And in this case, I wanted to know, you're going to receive all profits from this special effort by the artists to you. And are you also receiving, I was checking something in the web, and you're receiving to also can receive cryptocurrency from anyone who wants to donate to your address. That is right?
That is correct. Yep, we can receive cryptocurrency donations via the Giving block.
Okay, perfect. And there is a benefit with that, or regarding also that since you are a 501c3 nonprofit, it's more tax efficient also for the people contributing. So that's another important point to make. So what's your perspective about this project? About what's the biggest need in Tonga right now after the disaster?
Yeah, absolutely. So I might start by just doing a slight little bit more background about what actually happened in Tonga. I know I've heard from a few people on this platform that media coverage in certain places hasn't been that extensive. So what I will say is the volcano, underwater volcano, erupted on the 15th of January. Now this is the volcano hasn't been very active in recent years. There was a eruption in 2009, another one in 2014, but this was the biggest eruption of that underwater volcano for 1,000 years. And many reports have also said that it was the biggest volcanic eruption in the world in the past 30 years. So it really is an extremely big eruption. And because it was an underwater volcano, it also triggered a tsunami. So that's what a lot of the issue has been, is that this was really, really a double disaster. It wasn't just the eruption that was needing to be dealt with, it was also the subsequent tsunami. So the eruption fired ash and gas and dust and stones up to about 20 kilometers in the air and right across Tonga's islands. And then the tsunami very quickly followed after that and hit each of the islands. But then tsunami waves were felt much further afield than Tonga as well. So the biggest issue at the moment, to answer your question, is there's two things. One is drinking water. So a lot of the ashfall has landed in rainwater tanks. There's not a lot of freshwater sources in Tonga, so it's the ash has landed in rainwater tanks and contaminated the drinking water, contaminated the agricultural water, contaminated the crops and gardens. So that's a huge issue. And then the other issue is also related to the ashfall, is respiratory issues. So ash has fallen on the ground. It's been gone inside buildings, and it's so hot in Tonga at the moment with very, very little rain that the ash is just sitting there, and in the heat, the dust from it is causing respiratory issues. So those are really, there's a lot of issues that will need to be dealt with, but the two primary ones in the response phase for us are respiratory issues and clean drinking water. So we've heard. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, you.
We work with Caritas in Tonga, Caritas Tonga, the organisation, and those are the key issues that we've heard from them. We are lucky in that as a Caritas organisation working with Tonga, we have what we call pre-positioned supplies in the country. So these are essentially emergency supplies, which we have in 3 warehouses across Tonga, which are there ready to go and available for whenever there is an emergency like this. So most often those supplies would be used for something like a cyclone. But when this event occurred, we knew that those supplies were there and they were ready to go. So that contains things like hygiene kits for communities, water supplies like buckets and jerry cans and purification tablets, blankets, tarpaulins, those type of things that are there and ready to go to be dispersed as soon as they're needed. So that's the key bit of work that we're doing at the moment. The bright side is that they are prepared for these type of things. The unfortunate nature of a small Pacific island like that is that these events do occur more often than they should, not necessarily an eruption, but things like, as I said, like cyclones, sea level rise, those type of things. So the unfortunate benefit of this happening is that they are prepared. So those stocks are there and they're being distributed, and that's a key part of what the work that we're doing at the moment.
Do you know, can you tell us how many people are affected?
Yeah, so Tonga itself has a population of roughly 100,000 people, and there's been estimates that 80% of the population have been impacted. So it really is huge. 70% of the population live on Tongatapu, the main island, and they have almost all been affected in some way, shape or form, whether it's by the tsunami wave or the ashfall. And then there's other island groups scattered nearer to the volcano. For example, three islands have had to be completely evacuated because all the houses on each of the islands were all, if not all, mostly destroyed. So yeah, up to 80,000 people is the estimate that have been impacted. Communications is still not great into Tonga at this stage. There was an underwater cable between Fiji and Tonga which was damaged in the eruption, and so there's not been any very strong internet connection, anything like that. Just in the last week or so, we've managed to get phone connection into Tonga, so that's where we're hearing these updates from. But yeah, so 80% of the population being impacted is a pretty major thing. So any support that we can be providing is really, really important.
Yeah, that's wow, 80%. That's incredible. That's
and we appreciate your support.
Oh, thank you. Well, we appreciate you helping us to support. It really is amazing to have this community, this support of the NFT community. Tonga is, as I said, 100,000 people. It's a small country. It's made up of about 165 islands. About 36 of those are inhabited. They're spread across a really large ocean area. So the people of Tonga would be pretty amazed to know that there's people coming together right across the globe to support them in this time. So thank you to all of you.
Do you have any idea how much inhabitants are there in the capital, in Nuku'alofa, in the capital city?
How many people live? I think it's rough, and this is not an exact figure, but I think it's roughly between about 25 and 35,000 people.
Okay, yeah, it's proportional to the rest of the territory, and the shoots, the footage from the space was really impressive when the volcanic thing reached the surface, and the huge amount of smoke was so impressive. I have never seen anything like that. It was really, really something, like in 1,000 years, like you said.
Yeah, it's an amazing footage, horrifying footage, but amazing footage. And when you see that, you can absolutely understand that this is the biggest volcanic eruption in the world in the last 30 years, and just shows you that with these small islands, what a huge impact that this kind of ash cloud can create. The sonic boom from the eruption itself was heard right across the globe in many locations. It was very clear in New Zealand in certain places, and I've heard that it was far away as Iceland picked it up on certain monitors. So it really was a huge eruption.
Rachel, thanks a lot. I would like to give the chance to Mushroom, who has been a lot of time with his hand raised, and so let's hear. Good night.
Hi everyone, my name is Audrey. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I won't take up too much time. I'm speaking from Auckland, New Zealand, and the reason why I wanted to speak is because I actually have family in Tonga, and so to hear this initiative even taking place within the NFT space, I just really had to speak up and acknowledge it because it's truly heartwarming. Especially I saw an artwork done by iRobot with the Tongan community coming together, and it really warmed my heart and brought tears to my eyes because.
Sorry.
We good? Okay, so yeah, the piece by iRobot, I thought it just perfectly captured the collectivism and the warmth and the love that Tongan people really pride themselves in. And so I really just wanted to give you guys a huge acknowledgement for the work that you're doing. We finally managed after a week and a half to get in touch with my family in Tonga, and they really do echo everything that Rachel from Carisha said, that the aid really does make a difference. And so yeah, just wanted to say thank you and a huge acknowledgement for this initiative to even take place. A huge malo alpito from my family and also from the Tongan community, because I know it's going to make a huge difference. So thank you.
Thanks
Wow,
for sharing your story about Tonga.
Yeah, it took you a week and a half to get in contact with your family again.
Yeah, so normally we speak to my family via internet, and yeah, as you've heard, the internet connection was essentially severed with everything that was going on, and so there was one phone company that took about a week to come live, but unfortunately my family wasn't with that phone company, so it took a little bit longer. So it really relied on the community rallying together and the extended family to kind of give updates to people from all over the world. It was quite an unsettling time, not being able to know what was happening, but yeah, we're slowly making more contact with the island now. And yeah, I think it's slowly taking shape. But yeah, as I said before, the actions of all of these relief organizations are most certainly making a huge difference.
Okay, Tonya, do you agree? We can contact Mr. Wellington if you have any extra question before taking some people from the audience or anyone who wants to make a question to Mr. Wellington or Rachel.
Well, I think Gino, I give you the mic. Do you have a question? So we'll just continue. So it's 7:40. We got 20 minutes. So I would like to end sharp at 8 p.m. So when you look at the island, it's so beautiful. I mean, then before the volcano eruption, but so it's all the art pieces in this whole collection, all about. I mean, like, is it images that you would find in Tonga, Mr. Wellington?
I don't know. That's on the AI. It's going to be all generated, so I don't know if any of that's actually in Tonga.
So the AI just takes the information about Tonga and creates what it perceives, or what's the process? Can we ask that, Dada?
Yeah, I'm gonna let them speak on that. I just started messing around a couple days ago with it, so I don't know too much about the AI.
See, hi, Robert. He got his hands on.
Go for it. iRobot.
Yeah, hey, hope you guys can hear me again. But hey, Mushroom, first of all, awesome that stuff's being received. Hit me in the feels there, so appreciate that. But glad this stuff's being received. A little on the content, of the AI, so that the AI is being trained on, a certain model of images. So it's going to pick up on keywords and text and certain things that you kind of adapt and play depending on what method essentially you're using. But the project itself, they were really asked, I guess we were all asked to kind of seek inspiration, from the island, the culture, and kind of put something to it. Generated probably about maybe 300 or 400 images. I picked one of them that I thought was appropriate, and glad it was received. But hopefully that helps kind of clear up kind of how it works. But that the AI is just picking up on certain words and things, but guiding it is the difficult process, and then curating it. So making sure that hope and love were the inspirations going in, and the machine output was the image. So hopefully that helps, and I'm glad that kind of translated. So I appreciate it.
So, have you recorded the process of creating this at all? Like, that could be an NFT.
I haven't. There's some people that do. They'll do videos that sometimes will show the images rendering through the process. You'd have to probably set certain parameters in the coding to do that. I'm not a coder myself, so I'd have to have someone far more advanced than me do that stuff. But it's definitely an interesting tool to create art, and kind of we're on the cusp of something that's pretty unique and new.
Yeah, I was excited with AI making vitamins for me to live longer, but that the fact that AI can make art for me to enjoy, I don't know. It makes sense for it to be able to do that. I never thought
Artificial
about it.
intelligence is going to get really advanced in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, and AI is really also the person who teaches it and spend times with it and educate it and teach it, because I feel AI like art is just like children. I mean, if you teach it, you talk to it and you love it and you show some
Imagine,
empathy.
imagine that at some point that artificial intelligence will build a house for you.
They're not already? I thought they were. No, I'm teasing. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I think they will. I think that's why it's an exciting time. I mean, you add AI and you add a nanotechnology to it. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Maybe someday soon you will have your little house built by AI, Tanya.
No, I'm still waiting for Rosie from the Jetsons to be delivered to my house one day, because that's all I care about right now. Because I might end up fighting with my AI.
Okay. What about is there anyone here in the audience that which a special question that they will want to do, Mr. Wallington and to Rachel from Caritas, regarding this special operation, this operative to help the Tonga people? You can raise your hand.
I guess I can have a question maybe on behalf of maybe some people who will be listening to the recording or people who are not aware of the cause yet. And my question is pretty simple, is what are, like, how can I get involved and what are the next steps?
Okay, that sounds like a good question for Rachel, I guess.
I can talk to the response and what's going to happen next, but anything slightly more specific to the NFT initiative might need to go elsewhere. But in terms of what's happening in Tonga and how people can be involved, we've done some amazing fundraising already, both within New Zealand from the New Zealand public. We've raised $235,000, so it's about 150,000 US dollars. And we've got another 50,000 New Zealand dollars from across Caritas agencies around the world. So that money will be fed into our response in Tonga, as will any money that is raised through this NFT initiative, which is amazing, and as will any money received through cryptocurrency donations via the Giving Block, will all be put together for the response, which is likely to look at things like replenishing those emergency supplies that I talked about, or also specifically working in the area of training community members in disaster risk response, so they know how to respond effectively to these types of events in the future, but also in water security. So as I mentioned, there's not a lot of freshwater sources on Tonga, so they drink harvested rainwater. So training the community into how to maintain and look after that infrastructure is going to be likely to be a pretty important part of our response. So happy to keep people up to date with how that response goes, and there are all those different ways that people can get involved in supporting that. So from my end, that's kind of the next steps and how people can get involved. But I'm sure someone else might have a bit more of the specifics about this. Now for Tonga initiative.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I think it's actually very important to have you here and like hear you as well, just so that people who will be supporting the NFT initiative know where this money is going and that possibly can contact you if they need any further information or details or anything that will kind of help spread the message and help them support Tonga and support and show their support through buying art. That's awesome. But yeah, Wellington, maybe if you can just talk a little bit about the NFT part of that and how people can actually, buy NFT to support the cause.
Yeah, so they're all going to be on OpenSea. So you'll be able to do it there. And then straight from there, I made a new wallet. So every transaction that'll be on this wallet will be for this project and this, charity event. So I'll be able to transfer all of it to the giving block. And then I think they either
the project's name on OpenSea will be Now for Tonga.
Yeah, Now for Tonga NFT as a play off that, and I think we got it pinned to the top of the Twitter space here, but there's the OpenSea link as well. So
I think these works are very.
We're happy to have 19 artists up on board this project.
That's wonderful, really. And I love the name of the project. I mean, the acronym for NFT, Now for Tonga, is very clever. And I think it's helping.
On board this project as well. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for helping. And then, yeah, shout out to all the artists and as well. And Neuralism. Yeah, this collab it turned out nicely, and we got a lot more collaboration and a lot more.
The NFTs look amazing between the blue one, the red one, and the yellow one.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm just like I'm testing out a new feature for Twitter. So anyone that's at any of the artists, please post your picture that you're donating for this project, so I can. I really love it, by the way. So I can do stuff to it. You'll get more view on it too, because it's kind of like you respond with a video or a picture, and then you can put stickers on it. So let me know. Just go ahead and hashtag Now for Tonga, and then if I see it, I'll make a response.
Yeah, no, that's great. Sorry, guys, I just want to say that it's kind of late out here. And it's been it gotta drop. I got an early one tomorrow.
We appreciate you coming where it's very late for coming to the Twitter space, but it's very late for you in the country that you are in.
Yeah, no, for sure. My pleasure and our pleasure. And so I'm here repping the whole neuralism movement with Mitch and I think it's gonna be stay on. But yeah, as I said, like great forum, great initiatives, and I mean I appreciate all the folks that that spoke today. Thanks a lot for hosting it, guys, and enjoy the rest of it, and hopefully see you all around and in our Discord.
Thank you. And so it's on your profile to join your Discord.
Yes, neuralism Discord. Let me is there a way I can yeah, I mean it's in our bio. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and appreciate you for sharing that. And I'll continue following. Like I said, I'm obsessed with AI.
For sure.
I think what they're is cool.
I'll drop you a message as well with the link if you're struggling to find it. But yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, if you could, because I want to write a story about this. So
For sure.
the more links I have,
just
I
take
can
it.
embed it into the.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just take it offline.
Thank you. So it's about 7:52. I want to go ahead and wrap up the space. And anyone want to share with us? And Marcel, Mercenate? Did I
Yeah,
pronounce that
yeah.
right?
Sorry, I am from Europe too, so going to going to bed soon. But just wanted to say thank you, everyone. Not just for involving us, which was great, but also because it was so interesting to learn about Tonga. None of us uh, did know much about it. We had the opportunity to learn about the new culture. We saw the typical outfit, the typical the flowers that grow in those islands, and it was a really interesting experience. And let's just hope that clearly this is a symbolic gesture that all of us are doing, but let's hope that these people will be able to recover soon from this disaster. And thank you for this initiative again.
Thank you for being here and sharing
Thanks
with
for
us.
being here.
Bye bye.
And
Bye.
thanks for the interview, Tanya.
My pleasure. And let me go ahead and just go by one. So, Monsta, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and follow you so we can catch up with you, maybe do another story with you. And again, thank you for sharing and tell us how we can get a hold of you.
I apologize. Sorry, what was the last question?
So, how can we get a hold of you, like
Oh,
to follow you?
yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you very much for allowing me to be on the stage and just tell a little bit of how I got involved into Now for Tonga. But you can always shoot me a DM, tag me, or just at me. I'm also on Discord. But I feel like DMs are the best at this moment. I don't have a large following, so it's kind of really easy for me to read through the messages. And I would definitely follow you and everybody on the stage, and would be happy to connect, chat more about any other initiative, or how can we make sure that this initiative actually follows through, and we're actually making sure that we can do good and not just promote ourselves and talk about how great we are as artists. Well, it's so important to actually make change and donate the money and donate the efforts. So I'd be happy to chat with anybody who's interested.
You have a wonderful point of view.
Fantastic. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you for being here. And I'm Rachel, can you tell us what's the best way to get a hold of you? And I know you already mentioned how we can donate and be a part of it, but can you give us one more time so when it'll be part of the recording?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of getting in contact with us, you can get in contact with us through this Twitter space is absolutely fine. Otherwise, we've got alternative addresses on our Caritas Aotearoa New Zealand website. So whatever is easy, Facebook, Twitter, anything, you can drop us a message and we'll get back in touch with you. In terms of donations, just to repeat that, so thankful for the support of the NFT community and this amazing initiative with the profits going towards the Tonga response. And we can also, just to reiterate, receive cryptocurrency donations via the Giving Block directly. So so that's us. Very, very happy to provide any additional information about response on the ground or anything that people are interested in. Just get in touch, and I'm very happy to provide that information. And I'll just finish, I guess, by saying a great big malo pito. Thank you very much to all the artists and all the supporters on behalf of Caritas Aotearoa New Zealand, but also on behalf of Caritas Tonga on the ground for the amazing support towards this response. It really is. It's heartwarming to have so many people involved. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for coming to the space, Rachel, and sharing an update about Tonga.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
So-
Rachel is speaking from Caritas NC, which is Caritas New Zealand, and there is also, I see here, an address and a web a URL from caritas.org.nz. So I
Yes.
think that's another place that you can be located, the people of Caritas, and address any question.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Any of those methods are great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
And Mr. Wellington, let's go ahead and we appreciate you. I appreciate you for reaching out to me. you're incredible for putting all this together too, because it's a great curation, by the way. And I want to give you kudos and appreciate you for being here.
Hey, most of it was all these artists. Now I just gotta promote it some more, and I'm probably gonna load up some more Google Spaces or Twitter Spaces, not Google Spaces. But yeah, I'll just have more spaces and more exposure for this one.
We didn't really talk much about the project itself as far as when's the Mint, when's the, I mean, is it live now? Your Mint is live now, right? On OpenSea?
Yeah, it actually went live today. I'm still adding some pricing in, but yeah, it'll be up today. All the pieces are up now, so now I just gotta get the pricing on there. So the egg and the turtle are gonna be like 25.01 ETH. It's around $25 and some change. But yeah, everything is on OpenSea now, so all the options.
That's
So
great. Thank you. I'm gonna take a look at all of them and see different pieces, and if any way I can help you, let me know. But I really appreciate you for being here. And Brent, thank you so much. And I'm thrilled this is your first NFT project that you got involved in. So yay.
Wonderful. That's great.
Yes, I was thrilled to find the tweet because I really wanted to get into an NFT project and help out a project that's for NFT for a cause.
Yes,
Perfect.
Because getting part of being part of an NFT project will help me build my brand, and I will also be blogging about being part of NFT for a cause and publishing a story for CBC.
Wow, thank you so much, Brent. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, thank you.
That's wonderful. Really wonderful. Well, I will say good night to everybody to let Tonya wrap up the space. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel, thank you, Mr. Wellington, and all the artists and the rest of the artists, and the people from neuro from the artificial intelligence. I lost the name. Sorry, in this moment. But thank you, everyone. And Tonya, you can wrap it up, and let's hope let's hope that there is big hope for Tonga with this project. Thank you very much.
I think so. And everybody have a great day. We'll be back next Sunday for our edition of NFT for a cause. And if you have a project or anything that's coming up that you are giving back and creating some incredible art about them, please DM me or Carlos. We'd love to add you to the calendar and promote you and get the word out there. And again, everybody have a great day, and we'll close out the space with my friends Rivers Like Art. His song Orange. He's actually dropping his mint, I think next week. No, actually in 2 days. So everybody have a great day, and we will be back.
Orange as the sun, never been